Hey guys, Jason here with Your 3D Solutions. I want to give you a quick post on a neat little trick. So I've been trying to actually make an easy way for a cab to follow a trailer. So we're going to kind of walk through how to do this, and it's actually using the dynamic spline, which is actually kind of a little bit fun. So first off, we'll make two cubes. One will be the back, one will be the front, and that'll work right about there. So actually I'm going to, for the sake of doing so, I'm going to make that editable. I'm going to use the access point editor and kind of move it closer to where it would actually connect to the actual cab. And the cab, I'm going to leave that, that axis null where it's at. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into our joint tool. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to create a root null, kind of the center of the cab, generally where this is going to connect, and then the rear. And if I come in here and we just go ahead and do something like that, and now we're kind of squared up. Okay, so I'm going to call this the root. We're going to call this the cab, and we're going to call this the trailer and the rear. But that's not terribly as important to us. So you probably don't have to use as many. You probably use one less point than I used, but this is just, you know, for the sake of doing this. So if we come in here, I'm going to pull this out of the, we'll call it cab, and we'll call this the trailer. So if I come in here to the root, I take the cab, I drop it into the cab location, but I take the trailer and do the same thing and drop it into the trailer location. What we've done is we've accessed that point to the center of the IK, or at least the chain of bones. So now we're just going to come in here. Let's start. We'll use the root as a starting point. So in the root, I'm going to actually come in to make an IK, and I want to make sure that I come into the tag. We set the rear. And once that rear is set, we're just going to start by making a spline. So I'm just going to take the spline tool, and I'm going to say we're going to make a point here, 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 and here. Actually, this will be important. I'm going to make an intermediate point, and you'll understand that here once we actually get this going. And then we'll make it a B-spline to smooth everything out. So this, as it stands, we'll call our truck. What we want to do is there's a possibility we may need to be able to rotate, but probably not. And then I'm going to come in here and create an align to spline tag. We're going to drop into the spline and go to tangential. And we'll rotate here. So we're going to rotate here 90 degrees. And then if we tell it that we're aligned to the spline and we just follow with the tangential, it will just kind of track. But the problem is that the cab isn't actually following yet. So what we're going to do is first we're going to go ahead and create a keyframe. So we'll go to 500, bring that out. We'll mark a keyframe. We'll go to the end. We'll mark 100 and a keyframe. And now we'll come to the fun part, which is going to the actual IK tag, and we'll go to the dynamics. So when I enable this, first off, what you're going to first see is that it's going to lean real bad. And that's because we have a whole lot of gravity against us. So there are ways of fixing this, but we're going to, for the sake of this tutorial, we're just going to go ahead and get rid of that force. Let's just assume we're on level ground. We don't care. It's not really going to bounce up on us. And we can bring it back to level by adjusting the gravity. Now, when we try and start to follow, what you'll also see is it's kind of following too good to the car. So what we want is we want to add drag into it. So the drag will help start, but we have too much strength. So now we're going to kind of drop that strength down until we get the result that we're looking for. So that's better. And better still. And this is why we have that intermediate point, so we have a place for the trailer to line back up. So this is a simple rig. It's absolutely useful for a whole bunch of different things, and for me it is useful for the semi-truck that I actually have created as a product that you guys can purchase either through C4Depot.com or through Earth3D Solutions. And the cab will actually I got to do a little cleanup work, but you can see that the cab is turning and the trailer follows in suit. And by doing so, we're able to create an animation and just align it to a spline and not have to do anything fancy with how we make this all follow. So I hope this was useful for you, and hope you guys enjoyed this and you can actually find this to be a beneficial tool. Thanks for watching.